Alrighty, folks. So, we are here with a super interesting topic that I'm here to talk about. So, this is something I really like to do because this is very down my alley, if you will. We're going to be doing some progressive YouTube media analysis here. We're going to be looking at some of the trends. I do make videos on it whenever something interesting is happening, some sort of a shift is occurring, some type of shift is happening. And here we have another very, very major shift going down. So, the Sam Seder Jimmy Dore subscriber difference has been pretty big. So if you don't know, Sam Seder he reached up to like 150K, while Jimmy Dore had hit like 220 or like 250K or something like that. Now Jimmy Dore had started his channel far, far later than Sam Seder, and so Sam Seder's, while his 150K was nothing to scoff at, he was like 8 years in at that point, and so that's not very high. So it really wasn't, for like 8 years, that wasn't a very good number, and Jimmy passed him extremely, extremely quickly. And so it was just something I was like, oh man, like what's going on? You know what I mean? Like Jimmy Dore's way surpassing Sam Seder. Then eventually, it depends on what time point you exactly look at. But one could look at the Mike Cernovich incident where Sam Seder started trending on Twitter. There were news articles made about him. Chris Hayes gave him a shout out, a couple shout outs actually. And he really started banging at that point. And so he hit 300,000, then 400,000. Now he's going on 500,000. And Jimmy Dore has continued his growth massively as well. Now, there was a short period, a very, very short period, mind you, where Sam Seder passed Jimmy Dore in subscribers. Super, super short period. I think it might have been only a couple days that he actually passed him. But it looks like Jimmy Dore is going to get passed by Sam Seder. Now, I remember making my video about the Kyle Kulinski versus David Pakman subcount topic, which we will get into that later on, the second half of this video. But in that, someone in the comments was like, dude, if you're going to talk about trends, you should talk about how Jimmy's getting like 30K a month. And that was actually a good point. But he's tapered off because 30K a month is not something that's sustainable for a YouTube progressive political channel. But it'll happen in spurts. And Sam Seder is feeling those spurts, and the algorithm seems to really be fucking with his videos the same way that the algorithm was really fucking with Jimmy's videos not long ago, and for his whole channel, essentially. But here we go. So this is pretty wild, okay? So we're looking at the majority report with Sam Seder here. He's subscriber count, he's at 549,394. Now, what is Jimmy Dore at? The subscriber count is 555,409. If you can count. That's basically like roughly a 5,000, 6,000 gap. Oh, sorry. It's around a 6,000 gap, which is not much at all. So if we take a look here, right, Sam Seder is getting a whopping 30,800 subscribers this month, which is a plus 12%. I would have thought it'd be a bigger plus. I'm not sure. We'll take a look at deeper trends in a second here. He's also got 9.6 million views in the last 30 days. And if we look down here, right, what you see is a trend of basically for the past this is about 2 weeks of time, he's been gaining over 1,000 subscribers per day. And if we look at the greater trends here, before this 2 weeks, he was even gaining like in the 800s and on the cusp of getting 1,000 a day, you guys. Just talking about with 1,000 a day, you're looking at my entire channel subscriber count within just one single month. So, and he's been gaining insane view numbers, 585,000 a day, 555,000 a day, 461,000, 479,000, 485,000. Just a lot of big numbers on the part of Sam Seder. So the algo is definitely fucking with his videos right now because he's getting a shit ton of views and subscribers. The same way Jimmy Dore's channel was really fucked with the algorithm. Like the algorithm really liked him. Now, I don't know if Jimmy's been uploading as much. I feel like he's been uploading less. I don't know if he's lazy or what he's doing, but look. So he's at 555K, whereas Sam Seder here is at 549K. Now, Jimmy, in contrast to Sam Seder's count, is 10,698 subs for the last 30 days. And his view count is only 5.1 million. Now, that's pretty low count for any of the big progressive channels. You're looking at good numbers being like between 7 and 10 million a month. 5 is a bit on the low side. It's quite a bit on the low side. Now, to be fair to Jimmy, he does have a different system of upload style that is atypical amongst the progressive community because Sam Seder, David Pakman, Kyle Kulinski, everyone, right? They upload a shit ton of videos in a single day. Like, we're talking mad videos, right? 4 to 6, sometimes even more. Jimmy only uploads like one a day, and he's usually all from the same show or some clip from something. So he's just kind of being lazy with this channel in general. So that's kind of why I guess these view counts are down. But I mean, that's on him for not really uploading all that much. So, you know, these numbers are great. But in contrast to Sam Seder's numbers that he's hitting right now, they're nothing. I mean, that's the thing, right? So you're talking like, holy shit. So he's only at a rate of like 200 to 400 a month. Or not a month, sorry, a day. I mean, a day, subscriber count wise. He's only gaining like, 287, 213. Again, these are great numbers in a vacuum. Although these numbers could be better. They could be better at like the 200Ks instead of the 150s and stuff. But right now, the algo loves Sam Seder's videos the same way that last month, in a month which, let me see if I can find that number. In a month where Jimmy Dore, as you can see, monthly subs, 36K, 29K, 28K, the algo was fucking with Jimmy's videos, right? He had that Joe Rogan video that had, I don't know if it was the Joe Rogan video, or no, sorry. He had that video he did where it was just a clip from one of his live shows where he got into a fight with the heckler, I think. I forgot if it was, I don't know if it was a heckler or if it was a Joe Rogan thing, I forgot. But that blew up, that got like 1 point something million views, so it was clear the algorithm was pushing his video. Now I'm curious to see what Sam Seder's monthly subs counts are. So he's actually been kind of keeping up. Now, these months right here, the tail end of October wasn't nearly as good as it seems for the rest of these months. But, he had 34.25K, so I'm actually surprised he was able to stay in the running with Jimmy, considering these such high monthly sub numbers in recent memory. It is, pretty interesting that he was actually able to do that in the first place. So, listen, man, he's only getting 10K a month. Sam right now is getting 30.8K, so he's going to get whopped, like, in a fat second. I mean, you're talking about, let's say that he gets 1,000 per day. I mean, I haven't done the numbers on this, but if he gets like 1,000 per day, whereas Jimmy only gets like 350, I mean, dude, you're looking at like a positive 700 for Sam. So you're looking at, I don't know, what is that like? You're looking at like freaking, I don't know, like it's basically like 10 days, right? I mean, you got like 10 days because you got a positive 700, and you just multiply that by 10, you get to 7,000. That's more actually. It'd even be less than that, actually. It'd be like more like 7 days. So, dog, we're on the cusp right now of Sam Seder passing Jimmy Dore in a pretty strong fashion. Like, I don't know how Jimmy Dore comes back from this because, and I'm sure he will find a way because it always seems to. There always just seems to be this ongoing battle of switching subscriber counts between Jimmy and Sam. But unless he figures something out, man, he's in trouble here. He's in trouble because he's going to get taken over here. These numbers are not looking good. And in like a week, Sam Seder will have usurped Jimmy Dore in subscriber counts. This will be very interesting to see how both sides react. I'm very curious. Let me know your thoughts on that part down below. Now we're going to take a look at both David Pakman and Kyle Kulinski. This is to build off of a video I had made like a month ago or something like that. I made a video saying like, yo, David Pakman's going to surpass Kyle Kulinski in a couple months if trends do hold true. Now, it looks like the numbers for David are similar, okay? He's got like 9.2 million, which is pretty good for a progressive channel. And he's got 15.2K subscribers in the last 30 days, which is, it's a solid number. It's a solid number. And so the reason why David gets so many subscribers is because he has a lot of videos that are pushed by the algorithm that are ridiculously, insanely popular. So on his channel, he's at like a 10 million viewed video about an obese passenger on a flight. And there are a ton of people, if you read the comment section is just flooded with people saying, oh, like, why is YouTube recommending this to me in 2018 or 2019 or whatever? And so it's clear that's happening. And so whenever that happens, a ton of people click the subscribe button, but just never come back to his channel. And that's why his view counts are always lower than Kyle Kulinski's or Jimmy Dore's or something like that, you know? So, you know, he's getting like, you know, 3, 4, 5, sometimes 800 depending on the day. Now, if we look at Kyle, this is a remarkable view count right here, 13 million. That's actually a very peak point for when you're looking at the progressive YouTubers, their monthly numbers. 13 is a high point. That's actually higher than the main numbers, which usually are somewhere between, you know, 7 and 10. 13 is a high point. Okay, it's a huge point. And we'll see where this ranks in the past months. But as you can see here, 18,726, and it's up 187%. Now, if you don't know about Kyle's channel, it was blowing up for a long time, and then he hit like 500K, and it just stopped. It stopped like exploding the same way it was before for some reason. I guess the algorithm eventually gets tired of people, and the way it just changes and does its own shit. It's unpredictable and not understandable in any way. And so the algorithm sometimes fucks with you, other times it doesn't, and that's why you see Sam Seder and Jimmy Dore back and forth, back and forth. But now we've got a race between Kyle Kulinski and David Pakman. David Pakman's at 644K, Kyle's at 670. So in reality, the gap is still really, really close, okay? Really, really close. And if we were to look at future projections here for both of these channels, if we look at from 2 months from now, or if we click subscribe milestones, if we look here, right, look at like 86 days, well, it's more than 2 months, let's just go back there. So in 2 months, David will be at 683K, while Kyle will be at 690K. So the truth is that even if this is to continue, which the 18,000 subs that we see in this past month for Kyle Kulinski, it's an anomaly, and you know, we can actually check on that. I actually want to see the sub numbers here. Yeah, see, if we look at his monthly sub numbers, like these sub numbers in comparison to other channels have been pretty low. You're talking about like 6.2K, 7.04K, 8.17. Then it's rising a little bit here, but this is an anomaly number. Now, for David Pakman, I don't believe that's an anomaly at all. I think that's like a norm. His channel's been growing sub-wise a lot. Yeah, see, so it's like, this is the norm for David. You're talking about 9, 13, 19, 15, 15.5, all this kind of stuff, right? All these numbers here. So, while for Kyle Kulinski, it's clear this 18.7K is clearly an anomaly, and David, it's not an anomaly. This is like household, like consistent numbers, because his popular videos are being pushed like crazy by the algorithm. I still think David will end up passing him relatively soon. He'll be very, very close in 2 months' time, most likely, assuming trends stay true. Because, again, we're basing this off of the numbers in history and past. But, yeah, I mean, we're looking at the landscape changing up a little bit. Sam Seder's going to gain a heavy-duty lead on Jimmy Dore. Really heavy-duty we're talking here, because that 1,000 ain't going away for a little bit. I don't know how long that 1K a day is going to stand, but I think it'll stand for at least a week for him to take over Jimmy Dore, unless Jimmy Dore somehow figures out a way to be able to stay up on him, which I don't really know what he's going to be able to do that. Kyle Kulinski had that Noam Chomsky video that has like 860K views, so that probably brought in a lot of subscribers, but that 18K is an anomaly. David's 15 is commonplace, and sometimes on the low end. We just looked at the numbers, one of them was 20K. So, in conclusion, the landscape may change a little bit. I think that Sam is going to pass Jimmy, and he's going to get a solid lead. That may be retaken by Jimmy, because it always seems to fluctuate between these two guys. And then I think David Pakman's going to end up getting either really close or actually passing Kyle Kulinski in subscribers in a few months, because it's tough to fight that algorithm, man. But let me know your thoughts on this down below. How do you feel about these changes? And I'm very curious to know.